Hey everyone, my name is Chaitni. I am a mindset and nutrition coach. I help clients cope with stress, depression, or anxiety through healthy habit formation, positive lifestyle changes, and proper nutrition. I release wellness related videos every other week, so if that's something that interests you, then please make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I also send out bi-weekly blogs with self-care and self-love reminders, so if that's more of your jam, then make sure to sign up for that. The link for that is in the description. And lastly, you can follow me on Instagram with more frequent reminders related to wellness at Imperfect Bodies by C. Modi. So this week's topic is I'm going to be sharing what glimmers are and how you can learn to find them in your everyday life. So pretty much the definition of glimmers is going to be the exact opposite of triggers. So typically a trigger is, some kind of cue or some kind of instance that sets you off, and it really sets off the fight or flight response within you. And it leads to that stress component because there's a feeling of danger. There's some kind of danger that you sense, and so you automatically go into fight, flight, or even freeze mode. Whereas glimmers will have the exact opposite effect on you. Now, one thing to keep in mind with triggers is, it's your body sensing there's some kind of danger. Now, if there actually is danger, it absolutely makes sense. But a lot of times, triggers are a result of unresolved trauma or just some past history that you're still holding on to where you haven't completely processed your emotions. With glimmers, the cue is more of joy and safety. So, just to give you some examples, it could be hearing birds chirping, it could be feeling the warm sun on your face, for some people, experiencing the first rain shower. So many different things, seeing butterflies, seeing a beautiful flower. All of these little things that give you joy, safety, a sense of hope can all be your glimmers. And these are so simple, there's nothing earth-shattering. There's nothing out of the ordinary. In fact, it's looking for the extraordinary in the ordinary. So you are surrounded by these glimmers. You really just have to train yourself to start finding them and start appreciating them. The whole point of this is it can help you obviously cope with stress and anxiety and mental health struggles, but the main thing is it helps you learn positive reframing, because a lot of times in life things are not going to go as expected. And there's going to be more that is out of your control than within your control. So that's where these glimmers come in handy, because when you start to focus more on glimmers rather than triggers, it's a lot easier to put a positive spin on something. It's a lot easier to gain clarity, and it's a lot easier to move forward. So that's why I've put this video together on what glimmers are and how you can find them. So tip number one is get off your phone. Only if you stop looking at the screen can you look elsewhere and try to find your glimmers. So instead of constantly being on your phone, just take even 5 minutes a day. You can set a timer, you can schedule this in, or maybe you decide, every night before going to bed, you're gonna take a peek out of the window. So just look outside the window, or if you're stuck in traffic, instead of grabbing your phone and seeing if you have any messages or scrolling through Instagram, just put the phone aside and, just look around you. I know you're gonna see a boatload of cars, but just kind of look around, look at the side street, look a little bit ahead, because you never know what you're going to find. It's in these instances where you're going to find your glimmer. So just look away from your phone, look outside, look around you, and you'll be able to find your glimmers. Number two is really start to keep a journal. So you've all heard of, the gratitude journal or just writing in a journal. But keep a journal just for your glimmers. It could be your glimmers journal. And the nice thing about this is it holds you accountable for at least finding one glimmer a day. And also, as you're writing, it's a really nice way to reflect on the day and try to find something positive that you experienced. It doesn't take much to experience a really long day, a really hectic, a really stressful day. So this especially matters when you've had a day like this and you kind of go back and think about, all right, what is that one moment that was a glimmer? Or what is that, small act of kindness that you received that turned into a glimmer for you? So make sure you keep that glimmers journal. Again, it's just one glimmer that you can start with, and then of course you can add on to that. Number 3 is actually seek the glimmer. So when you wake up, set an intention or plan to find the glimmer. Tell yourself, today, no matter what, I'm going to find at least one glimmer. What that does is, whether you believe in the universe or the law of attraction, it's really you putting this out there and saying that this is what I intend to do today. I want to be able to find a glimmer. It also sets the tone for the day. And subconsciously, you kind of start to look for glimmers. And that's going to be a lot better than reacting and responding to triggers. So try to set that intention, try to plan and say that, no, today is the day I'm going to find at least one glimmer. Number 4 is pick a word and find a glimmer associated with that word. This whole thing doesn't need to be tedious. Make it fun for yourself. Let it be a game. So maybe the word you pick is lucky, and in the process you end up finding a lucky penny, or you spot a rainbow. Those are all, those are all things that can be associated with the word lucky. Or maybe your word for the day is warm and fuzzy, and you come across the smell of cookies, or you get a really nice hug from someone who loves you dearly. So just make it fun. Pick one word and decide to find a glimmer that's going to be associated with that word. You can even do that with color, or you can, get creative, but turn it into a game, and it can be super fun throughout the day. And then last but not least, number 5 is visualize. So maybe go back in time and think of a memory that always leaves you feeling warm and fuzzy. So think about that. Or imagine, daydream about something that's going to make you really happy, or that's going to leave you feeling absolutely joyous. So many different things that you can do. One is go back and think about a past memory that gives you good vibes, or you imagine and you daydream about something that might excite you. Maybe if you're stuck at work, it's really stressful, and you have a really tense meeting coming up, maybe just for a few minutes you find your glimmer in imagining what it would be like to vacation in Cabo, and you're bound to end up just smiling a little bit, or maybe there's a sigh that escapes your lips, but there's something. It's a little bit of hope, it's a little bit of joy that you insert into your life. So you can always visualize as well. So I've given you a few different ways to find glimmers. Just keep in mind, glimmers are not a band-aid for negative emotions. It's not a solution to that. You should experience negative emotions, you will, and you should learn to process them. But what glimmers help you do is give you another tool to cope with stressful situations, or to cope with anxiety as well as depression. It's an aid, it's not a substitute for experiencing negative feelings. So by all means, when something negative happens, you want to process it, but to limit how often you experience it, or to limit the intensity of it, it really helps if you start looking for glimmers instead of triggers. So thank you so much for listening to this. I really appreciate it. Thank you for stopping by. I will see you here very soon. In the meantime, take really good care of yourself. Bye.